weird. Kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish, but you can hear it going off in the background right now. It's really kind of strange, just to say the least. It's been going off for about 15-20 minutes so far by the fire station.
A las 3 de la mañana, cabrón. Mírala, jugando memes como siempre. Chica, no mames, no mames, mira esa madre. No mames. ¿Qué verga es eso, güey?
These are mysterious and unexplained photos, part 1. Up first is the Babushka lady. When JFK was assassinated in 1963, most people who were there understandably ducked for cover as the shots rang out. But in several photos taken that day, this mysterious woman appears to be taking photos of all the action. The FBI searched for her photos and identity, but nothing has ever been found. Up next is the spaceman photo. In 1964, a father took a nice photo of his daughter in a field. They were completely alone. But when the film was developed, there was what appeared to be an astronaut standing right behind her. The father promises the photo was never tampered with, and this still remains a mystery to this day. Finally is Alyssa Lam. She was caught acting very strange and moving in odd ways in the elevator, and was trying to hide from somebody. Her body was later found in the rooftop water tank, with no signs of struggle or trauma.
Now look at this.
Wait for it.
Kita tak dapat lagi pasuk wifi. Nampaknya bateri sudah mau habis bah. Kita charge dulu. Torch. Sekejap awak semua. Saya kasih charge dulu. Sini dulu nak on ni. Sebelum ni ialah ni aku punya power bank kecil. Sorry. Oh, pantai. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, stop.
Note, there's no evidence supporting this, and everything you're about to hear comes from former Area 51 employees. After Roswell, the government transported everything they found to Area 51 and put the media in a frenzy. They hired private investigators to watch and question the employees coming in and out of Area 51. Everyone would mention a project that would later be known as Project Abigail. It was rumored that the Nazis wanted to create a super soldier, and it put pressure on other countries to do the same. In America, nobody wanted to have the experiment performed on them, so one of the scientists volunteered his daughter to be the guinea pig. This was the start of the scariest human experiment ever. They immediately started injecting her, and shortly after, she started losing her hair, and her bone structure began to change drastically, and she went completely insane. Her father committed suicide after seeing what he allowed his daughter to become. Shortly after, they decided to starve her to kill her. The next day she broke free and rampaged, letting out a loud shriek, killed 2 guards, and even bit one of their heads off and devoured them completely. The firing squad failed because the bullets didn't hurt her. She was eventually contained, and some say you can still hear her cries and scratches today. Some will say she actually escaped, and they lied to avoid public panic, and she is still roaming the desert now.
So this is one of the stories from our fans that they sent us, and this story is called The Woman by the Pond. This happened to my uncle when he was around 14. He lived in Mexico with my grandparents, so it was around midnight and he just left the arcade. As he was heading home, he passed by a pond and he saw a woman washing her feet. He said good afternoon to the lady and she didn't respond. He said good afternoon again. She turned around and she had no eyes in her eye sockets, literally were empty, and she had blood dripping down her eye sockets. My uncle just ran home. The next day my uncle saw the news that a girl got murdered in the same spot she was at. That's fucking crazy. I feel like that shit happens all the time.
You seen that shit? Of course I would run. The next day you see that shit on the news that a lady was murdered there.
She's washing her feet and you're like good afternoon, she goes hola mijo, and her eyes are fucking gone. That's some scary shit.
What if the bitch started chasing you?
Or does she let out a loud scream while you're running away?
You have to hear this. Imaginary friends might not be so imaginary. A 15-year-old girl named Madison said that when she was 3, she had an imaginary friend named Kellum. Her mom, Kelly, didn't think much of it, but gradually, Kellum started to feel less and less imaginary. Madison said that Kellum was a tall man in his 40s that was always wearing work clothes. One day, Kelly caught Madison singing an old song called Daisy Bell, and when she asked her where she learned it from, Madison said that Kellum had taught it to her. Madison's mom, Kelly, still wasn't spooked though, but things started to get creepier and creepier. Madison said that at first, her imaginary friend Kellum was very nice, but as time passed, he wasn't so nice anymore. She said that he would start to yell at her, tap on her windows, and keep her up all night. He would always want to talk and play and would just never let her go to sleep. She became very afraid of Kellum, and she told her mom that his face just doesn't look the same anymore. She said that he started to look sick and his face got skinnier and his eyes became sunken in. All of this was very scary to her, but one night things escalated to a whole new level. Madison said that one night Kellum was being very aggressive and he walked up to her and grabbed her by the wrist. She screamed for her mom and Kelly came and picked up her daughter. The windows in Madison's room were blowing like there was a big gust of wind, but to Kelly's surprise, the windows were closed. Kelly eventually contacted her father, who was a pastor. He anointed the house with crosses of oil and Kellum never came back. But the story doesn't end there. Later on, Kelly did a property search and found out that the house adjacent to theirs was bought in 1941 by a man named Callum Beasley.
If you're enjoying the video so far, please like and subscribe for more. Boo, like if I scared you now, let's get back to it.
Yo, did you guys know that the queen of everything, Marilyn, is such a haunted mirror? This mirror is at the Roosevelt Hotel, and people were getting so freaked out, they had to move it, but that didn't stop the hauntings. People say they see the apparition of a young woman that looks just like Marilyn in that mirror, and when they turn around, nobody's there. Everybody knows Marilyn absolutely loved this hotel. She was there for a long time. This was like her home and she had a lot of happy memories there. An employee was adjusting the mirror once when they saw the apparition of a beautiful young woman with blonde hair, and she turned around to say hi and nobody was there. But the creepy thing is that when she turned back, she was still there looking at herself in the mirror. Subscribe to my channel and follow for more.
Caution for the photo that you are about to see. This was captured on the Ring doorbell of Jessica Gerald on a 2014 morning around 3 a.m. It is the only shot that we have of the man who broke into her home. For context, this is a small town right outside of Omaha, Nebraska. Like, bad things don't happen here, or so everyone thought. Unprovoked and completely without motive, the man was seen on camera around 3, and then he uses a glass scoring tool where he very quietly makes a hole in the window and then enters through the living room. So the following morning, Jessica Gerald, she doesn't go into work, so her family is contacted and they go to her home, where she is found without her head or her tongue. Media investigation was launched where the footage was eventually recovered. The man seen here had also posed her body without the head sitting up at her kitchen table.
disturbing things caught on GoPro camera PT.2.
Cannibal facts that'll eat at you for days. Part 4. This footage from a CNN documentary shows journalist Reza Aslan talking to a member of the Agori sect. Later in the video, he consumes a portion of a human brain that the cannibals offer him. This CCTV footage from 2010 shows Stephen Griffiths flipping off the camera after shooting a woman in the back with a crossbow. He killed and ate 3 sex workers and has been dubbed the Crossbow Cannibal. In 2003, South Korean serial killer Yoo Young-chil murdered 21 people and ate the livers of several of his victims. Ronald William Brown was a puppeteer on a Christian TV show called Joy Junction. The show has since been taken off air after he was convicted of conspiring with another man to eat a boy at his church. There are actually Yahoo chat logs from the incident detailing their exact plan. In May 2018, the Reddit user Incredibly Shiny Shart made a post discussing how he legally cooked and shared his amputated foot with 10 of his friends. He was forced to remove it because of a motorcycle accident and reportedly asked his friends, "Remember how we always talked about how if we ever had the chance to ethically eat human meat, would you do it?" This conversation led the friends to eating his severed foot.
Things humans were never meant to see. Firstly, we've all seen this famous TikTok green screen, right? Well, I guess this should be added to your bucket list because a man discovered it's a real-life place in Spain. Next, this is what an octopus looks like when it dreams. It's pretty cool how they can use their camouflage method even when they're asleep. Now, this will shock you. This is what a soldier's face looked like before World War I and after the war was over. Moving on, this is how a snail actually drinks water. I was not expecting this. Okay guys, my life is a lie, so you're telling me this is how people have been making their grass more green? And this is how brick walls are actually made. I thought they laid each brick one by one. Here we have a video that proves how fast NASCAR cars actually go. Finally, I don't know if this is cool or terrifying, but there's an actual active volcano in this world that spits out blue lava.
Things humans were never meant to see. Different TV channels show different adverts during the same football game. If the adverts are on a screen, how is this even possible? Well, they use something named perimeter replacement technology. This masks out all of the players and puts a different advert in place. Thanks to a virtual camera head, this is done in real time. This is not wood. Instead, it's a sculpture made from paper. It is made by an artist named Lee Hongbo. Lee makes these sculptures using thousands of pieces of paper. Take a look at how fast this octopus escapes from a jar. The octopus worked out how to unscrew the jar and get out in just 1 minute. Many don't realize, but if octopuses were humans, their IQ would be 140. This gem looks like it's censored. This is a Congo tourmaline, which is a rare gem.